Archbishop Bashar Warda of Erbil, Iraq, has been very outspoken about religious persecution in the Middle East. He recently delivered a commencement speech at Walsh University in Ohio, where he talked about the social and political crisis. We recently sat down with a church leader who said there needs to be more coexistence among people of different faiths.
Well, Your Excellency, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. You're here in the nation's capital. You talked about what it's like being a Christian in the Middle East. Tell us a little bit more about that and the, I guess, to put it mildly, challenges.
I think today everyone is fully aware about the decline number of the Christians in the Middle East over the last 50 years, from 20% to less than 3%. And the reasons for that is quite obvious. The whole region of Middle East is like a backyard place for a lots of proxy wars which happened. Lebanon, Iraq, and Syria, where a lot of Christians, people and institutions were present and effective, have seen the decline of the number of the Christians because of wars and disputes in Lebanon since 1976, and then Iraq 8 years, and then the sanction, and then after 2003 Syria in 2011. So all of this have made the Christian as a vulnerable community to be targeted in a way as a direct persecution, or sometimes collateral damage for all of these proxy wars. So that's led the people to think and believe, especially if I speak about, for example, certain families who fled the violence in 2004 to our parishes in Erbil. They've told me, Bishop, this is the third time that we are starting from zero. This is the third time that we've been displaced. So until when? So that's why people have decided to leave Middle East, and others have decided to stay, but in a different location. So one of the challenges is that we are a minority.
Yeah. USCIRF recently released its annual report highlighting religious freedom conditions around the world. And in that report, it recommends that the State Department put 11 countries, including Iraq, on a special watch list, in part because of severe religious freedom violations. Can we talk a little bit more about that? And as far as religious freedom violations in Iraq, you're there. What have you seen?
There is a freedom of worship. Yes, or the worship is being protected. The government, I speak about the government of Kurdistan, for example, the stress on the coexistence and the culture of coexistence, urging the Muslim preachers, Muslim imams, also to stress on the value of the common good, of the coexistence, and likewise now the government of Iraq is doing so, especially after the Pope's visit. But when it comes to the core, to the essence of building the Iraqi society, freedom of religion is not there, and it will not be there. There was, according to what we have within the constitution, we will not see at all freedom of religion coming. That's not going to happen, and we should really be aware of this fact. Now, what to do in this sense is to maintain an eye on the freedom of worship. Is it still secured for all Christian, Yazidis, other minorities there? This is the task of the, I would say, international community, if they would like to interfere or help. But when it comes to freedom of religion now, within any Islamic country or within any country that has its institution built or founded on Islamic Sharia, this is not going to happen.
You mentioned coexistence.
Yes.
So that seems that to be the goal, is to be able to coexist over there with one another. How do you do that? How do you strike that balance?
First, by allowing my people to know the other people who are different in culture, ethnicity, and also religion. And this kind of encounter will help them take some of the myths away. And likewise, the other people would know who we are as a Christian, and also to put aside some of the false stories and lies about Christians, which they have within their mentality that's there, and to know each other, not through the internet and social media. No. Come together.
And in part 2 of our interview tomorrow, Archbishop Warda talks to us about the political landscape in Iraq.